Okay guys, so to do this job, before we go through the video of putting it back on, these are the tools that I use to get it completely off and what I'll be expecting to use to get them back on. Start off with big floor jack, 3-ton, 8-ton, whatever you want to use, but a big floor jack, slide under there. For one, to get the vehicle up and get your jacks on, gonna need at least 2 jack stands. You need 2 jacks. I use a backup jack, 2-ton. Then you're gonna need your torque wrench, regular ratchet, hammer, 13, 14, 17 millimeter wrenches. Gonna need your adjustables for your socket wrenches. I've got 14 here. My impact 14, 12, 13, 16. 19 for your bolts that hold your whole cradle in. And of course here I got 12, 14, 17, 13, 10 millimeter. Got your pliers for your pins out of your rack and pinion. I've got all of my extensions. I needed to use all of them in order to get into the motor mount on the back in the middle, and a couple of screwdrivers, flathead, Phillips head, and this is another, my 17. So, and your crowbar and some Loctite liquid wrench, because you're going to be dealing with those suspension parts, and they're going to be locked up real tight just from wear alone. So you're going to need to soak those bolts in there and your torque wrench in order to get those things loose. If not, you're just going to be busting knuckles. I actually broke my extension, had to go in and get a new one with those tight bolts. So make sure to loosen your bolts up and have your torque wrench ready. You're going to need your torque wrench to refasten most all of these screws, except for your little tiny 10 millimeter stuff like that. And here's all the screws that came off. There's your motor mount screws. There's your control arm bracket screws. There's your muffler train screws and bolts to hold the muffler on. There's your bracket from the rack and pinion. There are your bolts for your universal. Let's see, those 2 bolts come out. And these are the bolts for the bracket for the universal, and these bolts go into the other side of the universal just straight through. There's no bracket. And these are your pins that hold on your braces for your power steering fluid, going down the front up under the radiator.